you guys, today I'm coming. Why do I even start my videos like that? I don't really know. But I'm going to be doing a collective review of all three presidential debates. Last week I wanted to do a video of the debate. I wanted to do a video, but I wasn't motivated to like actually make a video. Since there was a debate last night, I thought it would be cool to kind of like do kind of just a collective view of what I thought of all three presidential debates. I went and reviewed the first two, and then last one was only last night, so I kind of still have a fresh idea of how I feel about that one. But I thought it would be cool to kind of give my thoughts and also have it maybe be a forum to people, for people to express their opinions, I guess. I'm just gonna kind of give my thoughts on just not so much the topic, like what was being said, but kind of more how each candidate handled themselves more so. So yeah, that's kind of more what I'm going to be doing. So first debate, it was Obama was kind of he wasn't as in it as Mitt Romney. I felt like he was a lot, he was very kind of lackluster is the word I'll use. Mitt Romney, I think he came out and kind of, had this energy that I think a lot of people were looking for. He, attacked the issues with vigor. Or Obama, he kind of lacked that. And then, in the second debate, I think Obama picked it up in that regards. And going to the second debate, it was definitely one of those debates where a lot was happening. I wanted to do, but I didn't quite know. There was just so much going on in my brain. So what I decided to do is I decided to kind of analyze kind of more their personality and how they handled themselves and how that kind of came across. And I'm not going to so much analyze their platform as much. I'm just going to kind of analyze them as people, if that makes sense, and kind of also a little bit of their tactics, but it's going to be more general, I guess is what you could say. So yeah, that's how I'm going to go about it. And I think that the first debate, they both kind of, I think that Mitt Romney came out with a lot of energy, a lot of passion and vigor. The president kind of seemed a little bit lackluster, in my opinion, of course. And I think that in the second debate, they both picked it up. One thing, I know a lot of people, they kind of say, oh, well, fighting is not very pleasant, and I agree with that, but I think the fact that they were kind of butting heads and kind of, I don't know if you call it fighting, but they were kind of disagreeing and arguing. To me, at least on Mitt Romney's part, it showed that I think he really did care because he wanted the people to know the truth about Obama. And I think the whole binder of women thing, and this is something that was said on like Fox News or something, that if that's the only thing you can find negative that Mitt Romney said throughout that whole debate, that's a really good job on his part. And to me, I don't really see any reason why that would be offensive, like legit. I think that everybody knew what he was trying to communicate, and maybe Mitt Romney needs to learn sometimes how to speak more eloquently. Maybe that's something that he needs to learn. But I mean, I think that with me, in my opinion, sometimes somebody can speak really eloquently, but when you actually get down to what they're talking about most of the time, even though they speak eloquently, what they're talking about makes no sense and it's just a bunch of fluff. And I kind of feel like sometimes with President Obama, that's what happens. Mitt Romney, I'll say, even though I like him, so he's not as a smooth of a speaker, but I would rather have substance and have maybe somebody who wasn't as good of a speaker. I'd rather have that, and I feel like that's kind of like what it is with Mitt Romney. I think that in last night's debate, there's a lot of speculation about how he handled himself, and I'm going to be talking a little bit more extensively about last night's debate because there were some things that struck nerves with me, as far as their kind of behavior, not necessarily all bad. I mean, I know struck nerves, but just kind of brought up some highlights in my mind about what each candidate acted and did and said and all that stuff. A lot of people are speculating why Mitt Romney didn't go after Obama on the whole Libya thing. There's a lot of speculation of they think that he's trying to appeal to women because women apparently don't like when people fight, and so that's why Mitt Romney he kind of didn't show maybe as much aggression as he did in the second debate. And to me, it worked in his favor in a different way. I think that, the president, you could communicate your ideas in a very effective way without, you know, sounding condescending. To back up a little bit before I make the next point, I think to a certain degree it's okay to point out flaws in the opposing side, because I think you do need to make a contrast of what's different between the two choices that the American people have. I think to a certain degree it's important, but people just kind of take it to the next level of, oh, well, I'm going to attack you. And I think the whole comment to Mitt Romney about the buggy and bayonet, or I don't exactly remember, but to me, I mean, of course Mitt Romney knows about the military. I mean, of course he knows what an aircraft carrier is. Like, he's not stupid, and I'm trying really hard not to get biased on that, but I mean, that was just a really condescending comment. To me, the part about where he was talking about aircraft carriers is like, we have these things called aircraft carriers, and to me, he was very arrogant, and that just shows kind of maybe a sign of weakness on his part. I don't know, the fact that he got so offended that he had to say something like that. But I think, a lot of commentators say, oh, well, the way I think about the second debate, and they kind of mentioned it, but it was especially mentioned in the second debate when, if you didn't watch it, they were going after each other, and Mitt Romney was, really getting at Obama about various issues. People were saying, yeah, I don't really care about how they handle themselves. I care more about what they're saying. And I think that, to me, when candidates say, let me say it this way, the way that the people that are nominated for president handle each other is a really good sign of how they're going to deal with problems in the nation, and that is a really good example of how they're going to deal with that. So